Greeting to everyone. Today I am going to present ethical hacking case study 2. Okay, my name is Sachana. My number matrix is 1033. Okay, this is the content of case study. 1.0 Introduction of ransomware. 2.0 Stage of ransomware attack. 3.0 Countermeasure or mitigation of the attack. 4.0 Conclusion and 5.0 The reference. Okay, now I'm going to explain the introduction of ransomware. Okay, ransomware is one of the most debated topic in the IT world. Ransomware is continuously evolving and it's hard to keep track of the different strains of ransomware. The attacker then demands a ransom from the victim in exchange for restoring access to the data. It encrypts the victim files, rendering them inaccessible and demands a ransom to unlock them. While each ransomware variant has their own way of spreading, all ransomware variants rely on similar social engineering tactics to deceive users and hold their data hostage. Okay, let's look at the different type of ransomware variants. Firstly, Jigsaw. It's a particular serious ransomware in that it will encrypt your file and then begin deleting them systematically until the ransom is paid. It will delete one or more files every hour over the course of 72-hour period. Once the 72 hours are up, all the files that have been encrypted will be deleted. Furthermore, Locky is another ransomware variant which is designed to lock the victim's computer and prevent them from using it until a ransom is paid. It usually spread through begin email message discussed as an invoice. When a user opens the email attachment, the invoice gets deleted automatically and the victim is directed to enable macros to read the document. When the victim enables macros, Locky begins encrypting multiple type files using AES encryption. Finally, CryptoLocker botnet. It's the oldest form of cyber attack which has been around for the past 2 decades. The CryptoLocker ransomware came into extinction into 2013 when hackers used the original CryptoLocker botnet approach in ransomware. CryptoLocker is the most destructive form of ransomware since it uses strong encryption algorithm. It is often impossible to decrypt the crypto ransomware infect computer and files without paying the ransomware. Okay, next slide. My group member Pravina will explain.
2.0 Stages of ransomware attack. Stage 1 Campaign. There are a variety of delivery channels for ransomware, but phishing email is the most popular. Say you receive an email from an online retailer stating that you were overcharged and are due a refund. You absentmindedly click the link without noticing that the URL is a little off or the typos message contains an ban. The ransomware attack in enemy. Stage 2 Infection. In this stage, the malicious code is downloaded and the code execution begins. At this point, our system has been infected with ransomware. However, none of your files are encrypted yet. Encryption is a reversible mathematical calculation that is a rather high CPU intensive task. In a typical ransomware attack, it doesn't occur immediately because it takes time for the malware to determine the scope of data to encrypt. It is important to note that at this point, all your automated detection control have failed. Your firewall, proxy, antivirus solution, and intrusion detection system have all allowed the traffic. Stage 3 Staging. At this stage, the malicious code ensures connectivity with its command and control C2 server. A C2 server is controlled by the attacker and is typically used to send commands to compromise system. However, with ransomware, the primary C2 communication is to obtain the encryption key. At this point, various system changes are made and persistence is established. The attacker now owns the system. Stage 4 Scanning. Here is when things start to slow down a little bit. First, the malware scan your local computer to find files to encrypt. This can take seconds to minutes. It also scans for data stored in the cloud, which is encrypted via folders and appears as local data. Then it is look for file shares. This can take hours depending on how many shares you have on your network. The goal is to investigate what data is available and determine which level of permissions the compromised user has. For example, list, write, delete. Stage 5 Encryption. Once all data is inventoried, encryption begins. Local file encryption can occur in minutes. However, network file encryption can take many hours. This is because most ransomware attack data on network file shares are copied down and encrypted locally. Then the encrypted files must be uploaded and the original files deleted. This process gives you some time. If you got a 25 GB file share, it's going to take the local computer a while to encrypt the data and push it back up. In stage 6 Waiting. Once you reach this stage, your data is gone and the attacker is demanding payment and you're now in recovery mode.
I'm Prisha Jaikman. My metric number is 1061. 3.0 Counter measurement or mitigation of the attack. The first one is vulnerability management. Vulnerability management is VM is a key program for reducing risk within the organization information technology solution. The VM scanners will identify known vulnerabilities in technology and apply a criticality rating. For example, it can detect an unpatched application that has a remote code execution vulnerability that is residing on the internet facing surface. Such a vulnerable application in our example will be highly deserved target for malicious actor. Being able to identify and mitigate vulnerabilities is critical to hardening your environment. The second is keep your program and operating system up to date. Regularly updating program and operation system helps to protect you from malware. When you performing updates, make sure you benefit from the latest security patches. This makes it harder to cyber criminal to exploit vulnerabilities in your program. The third is employee training. Sometimes external threats are successful because of an insider threat. The weakest link is in data protection can be your own employees. Ensure your employees understand network security. Your employees should be able to identify threats. They should be know who the contact to protect to avoid the security breach. Provide security training throughout the year and be sure to up to date it. There are new security risks every day. The fourth point is endpoint monitoring. All devices are online within the network should be monitored and specialist or malicious activities. This can vary from changing the occur on the device itself. Who authorized can on a device or even what was a access. Newer technologies such as endpoint detection response EDR have been developed to exploit monitor these devices and the activities that occur within them. The fifth one is do not open unpublished email attachment. Ransomware can also find its way to your device through an email. Avoid opening and debusting looking attachment. To make sure the email is trustworthy, pay close attention to the sender and check the address is correct. Never open attachment that prompt you to run makers to view them. If the attachment is in fact opening it will run a malicious macro that gives malware control on your computer. 4.0 Conclusion. In conclusion, as with other form of malware, careful actions and the use of excellent security software are the step in a right direction when it's come to combating ransomware. Of particular importance with regard to this type of malware is the creation of backups, as this allows you to be well prepared even in the worst case scenario. If you become a victim of a ransomware attack, depress these prevention and protective measurements. It is obvious that ransomware will involve incomplete as it's become more generalized. Individual users will continue to be the trouble as well as entrepreneurship. The accomplishment thus far is extortion of the cash from victim open the way for more cyber attackers to use ransomware as a form of main static. These are reference. Thank you.